Residents and motorists plying a key federal highway in Mbise local government area of Imo State will soon heave a sigh of relief as the Federal Road Maintenance Agency is fixing the road. The step is in line with the federal government's directive that FERMA should commence a 12-week rapid intervention on bad portions of federal highways across the country.
This was the state of the Afo Enyogogu Sam Mbakwe Airport Road in Mbise local government area of Imo State a month ago. Dilapidated, inundated by water, and a death trap for motorists. Now the story has changed. The Federal Roads Maintenance Agency, FERMA, has intervened, and the 2-kilometer road is receiving attention. Work is going on in earnest. Vehicles can now drive with ease.
You see that this motor is almost condemned in the engine because of this place. The worst road in the eastern region as at that time. Not that after this one you stop. Continue. This is wonderful.
We suffered a lot this road last year. Even at the rainy season itself, we suffered a lot. But we thank God. The government is doing fine.
There are many things, even up to 2-3 vehicles, up to 5 vehicles will be inside the water. So the flood was like River Niger and Benue.
The agency is promising to do its best to ensure roads mapped out for rehabilitation within the period under review are captured.
You listen to Mr. President, on 1st January, there was a mandate given to the agency and a work plan to intervene on critically failed sections along all federal roads within 12 weeks. This operation actually started sometime last week of November and is supposed to last 12 weeks.
This is not the only road to be attended to. There are others. But residents and motorists are hoping that the roads are well constructed and completed before the rainy season.
And their neighbors in Anambra State, especially the residents of Nnewi and Oka, have cried out to the state and federal government to come to their aid as their lives and property are being threatened by erosion. The State Commissioner for Environment, Beautification and Ecology, Mr. Ifeanyi Ejikeme, says the state is helpless as there are over 900 active erosion sites.
A well-constructed road leading to the popular Nnewi main market in Anambra State. From a distance, everything seems normal looking at the stretch of the beautiful road. But beside it is this dreadful sight, a result of erosion which has ravaged this part of Nnewi land, swallowing over 50 buildings and even with some human casualties. The cracked walls are imminent signs that the end may be near for this structure as erosion creeps in day by day.
My house is very close here now. So the thing has been giving us notice. Maybe if the type of rain that fall last year fall again, we'll pack out from this town.
Let the government come here, save us, and know what we are undergoing for the past 12 years now.
Some victims tell the tales of the impact of the gully while calling for help.
I don't live here anymore due to erosion menace. I presently live in my brother's house down Ochendo Hotel area. Erosion has really dealt with me and my family. Look at my house. Half has caved into the gully. It has taken my gates and I'm helpless. That is why I packed out to Ochendo area.
Umudim is another area where several buildings are under siege as the gully tears through farmlands ready to devour the high-rise buildings. Some of the buildings are vacant after residents fled for their lives. The Federal High Court Federal Secretariat, including the NDLEA permanent site, are also being threatened. A situation the state government is worried about and says it's doing all it can to ameliorate the sufferings of the people.
I have visited that place and I've seen it, and it's increasing. That thing is above 10 years. But this time around, because of the importance His Excellency attaches to some of these erosion menace areas, we try to take census out of what the new map is handling now. Anambra State, they have a greater percentage of projects they are handling in Anambra State more than any other place.
Promises have been made in the past, but what the residents need now are prompt actions from all relevant authorities before the situation gets even worse and their communities completely washed away.
Residents of Sankwala in Cross River State are appealing to the government to provide their community with potable water. They say that's something they've not had for over 3 decades, and their only access to water is from an open source where both humans and animals drink from. Our community report tonight looks at the situation that has left thousands exposed to diseases.
From this 2001 chart that shows the percentage of the population with access to clean water, it would have been expected that over time, our state in focus today would have improved the lot of its citizens. But 17 years later, the people of Sankwala in Obanliko local government area of Cross River State are still groaning under the harshest conditions.
The people of Sankwala, our native community, the headquarters of Obanliko local government, have been suffering from water shortage for the past 40 to 50 years, and the problem continues and is just still there, and nothing has been done about it.
It's a wonder how these children have time for school or the mental capacity to assimilate anything in class, considering their daily routine. They line up at the community tap, waiting to fill their buckets. Yet water does not flow. And before long, the elders join them as the frustration mounts. This is what is left of the generating plant dedicated to servicing the borehole.
At times, we come to this borehole, we stay at least when we come in the morning like this, we keep on standing here pumping this water. We cannot be able to see the water coming out.
The crowd makes its way to another line where the queue is not only longer, but the source of water poses grave danger to health. But what choice do they have?
Those who come very early in the morning they don't fetch the water all good. At times our children, they will remain here, they need to go farm because of water.
You not fetch again?
Water don't dry.
For those who cannot stomach this, other options are available. But to get there is to walk a far distance to this well. And those who make it to the river have to compete with cattle who also need water. And they leave their mark. These food hawkers have no problem with washing plates with the water, as the burden of any illness that come with it is passed to the unsuspecting customer. How has this been left unattended for so long? That's what the state governor, Ben Ayade, appears to be addressing at this ceremony to unveil a motorized water drilling rig. The baton of responsibility is passed to those who should make it work.
I challenge the entire ministry. I challenge the chairman of Water Board, I challenge the MD, I challenge the commissioner, I challenge you as DG of Rwasa, and you, our consultants and contractors, that this rig is available to deliver only service to God.
Another promise that the people of Sankwala will look up to with optimism. Their hope is that this too will not take a lifetime before it's fulfilled.
And still in the southern part of Nigeria, some art students from the Institute of Management and Technology in Enugu State are unhappy that they are not getting support from the state government. The students, who are in different levels of their study, say insufficient encouragement from home and the school management compels them to work and school at the same time.
The Institute of Management and Technology in Enugu is one of the tertiary institutions known for its contribution to the art space in the country. IMT has produced artists over the years who have not only excelled in the field, but also demonstrated this in the beautification of the Enugu metropolis. At different locations and strategic roundabouts within the metropolis are sculptures they have created that serve as memorials of significant historical events. Since inception in 1973, the school has continued to groom students in art and its dynamics. However, this generation of students have had to learn under extremely difficult conditions.
Excess works have been done here. Some of our works are unfinished because of the lack of materials. You might be working at the process, your money will finish, and the lecturer will want you to submit. And because you don't have money, you have to submit the little one you have done just to gain a mark for you not to repeat the course.
A lecturer of the department, who happens to be an old student, is unhappy with this development.
A sculptor, especially a sculptor, where do you get your wood? The wood is being procured by IMT then, or by the school you are supposed to be. But today we don't. For you to provide a wood that is about 8 feet, high, for you to carve that monumental, effigy or whatever, you will spend money. The students are there to work, but there's nothing like incentive today.
Here's what the students and other art enthusiasts think could be helpful.
Introducing exhibition in different schools. Let them start from the scratch, from primary school, so that they can encourage the young ones.
What they could also do is to come together in groups and have group art exhibitions, so that, when they pull resources together, then they'll now be able to exhibit, and then people will come, see their art pieces, and probably pick those art pieces, and then they'll be able to earn revenue from them.
For the director of the Department of Art and Design, spreading tentacles for support has begun. He believes it'll go a long way.
We are not relying so much on government to help us. While we know that this is the mother of this institution, we're also making contact with outside bodies, alumni, some corporate bodies, the ICANN.
Art has not only served as memorial communication tools and beautification, it's also a key component of entrepreneurial education that must be prioritized if Nigeria must look at other alternatives to diversify its economy.
There are many Nigerians who work really hard to earn a living through legal means, like the stone crushers, for instance, usually classified as artisans and small-scale miners. Some of them engage in the business using the right implements, and others aren't so lucky. In this next report, we examine the activities of these men and women in Bauchi State.
This is the abode of a stone crusher, Samson Musa. It's a mud house with no furniture at all. This is what he has to go through to fend for himself and the family. Up on this mountain are these strong men and women whose overwhelming communal spirit drives them to assist Samson break some stones to enable him raise money to pay his fees at the theological school in Gindiri.
Now we are about to go back to school, but I don't have anything to go. So these people plan to help me so that I'll get out to pay my school fees. It's 112,000. apart from project and other levies.
This woman arrived with some local drinks and just vegetables for the workers to eat. They labor hard with hand tools they fabricated. Victoria stops work to remove those stones that got into her eyes. And despite the dangers and hard work, they earn very little and complain that their buyers underpay them.
When breaking, some people may come and pack it without paying us again. Sometimes we may suffer like this and someone will just pack it without our knowledge. They will just go with it.
This work is a suffering work, suffering. So
if you start doing this, because we are doing this work because of we not get anything to do it, to get money to solve our children problem.
At sunset, they return to their village, known as Kakashia, where a majority of the people here are stone crushers. They continue with domestic work, especially the women who say they often suffer from back pain. The Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Environment, says government is trying to coordinate the activities in line with best practices.
We have been mandated to ensure that they are organized, and where their capacity is lacking, we advise the state as to what to do to ensure that their capacity is built so that they operate at a profit and also have employment that is gainful.
These people could choose a crooked means to earn a living, but instead they choose this legitimate means. This reason alone should attract the necessary support from relevant authorities without any further delay.
Still ahead on the news at 10, Rafael Nadal to retain world #1 ranking after booking his spot in the Australian Open quarterfinals. That's on Sports News. Join us again.